Welcome back, Ducks and Kings fans, to episode 19 of Royally Quacked. I'm your Ducks host, Cody Spink, and I'm joined by my Kings co-host,
Gary Spink.
All right. This one, we're pretty much it's going to be all Ducks and Kings. There will be no league news this week. So we're going to give you guys a full rundown of what our teams have done over the past week. So we'll give you a full draft recap, and then a little recap of our free agency so far, our signings and trades that we've done. So, all right, we're going to start off with the Kings draft.
Okay. So, Kings fans, not sure how much you paid attention to this, but if you go to All the Kings Men and listen to the Mark Yannetti, he talks about how they do the draft in tiers. So they do them in tiers of the talent level. They go through the whole draft in tiers. And then if they can trade down and get more and still get somebody in their tier, that's what they do. And you saw that they traded the 21st pick to, I believe, Montreal and got the 26th pick and then a second round and a seventh round. So they ended up getting 3 picks for 1. And that first pick was Liam Greentree. Now, Liam, he's a human highlight reel, capable of making big plays look easy and small plays look skillful. He's a good defender, a big producer, but the one concerns about him is his skating. And they say that can't be ignored. There are a lot of players in this draft who did more with less than Liam Greentree did. He was stuck on Windsor Spitfires, a team that was just second last in the OHL with 44 points. But he thrived. He scored 90 points in 64 games. 24 more points than the next highest scoring teammate. There's no keeping him down. He played his best on a team that just didn't have enough to win. So he's already had to take a big blunt of his team's scoring just to make them second to last instead of last. He is let me just refocus for a second here. So he comes with some hard skills, comes with intelligence and cunning that make him one of the most effective distributors in his class. He navigates his way around opponents with a series of look-offs and gives and goes and a sophisticated delay game that allows him to problem solve his way around numbers off the rush. He constantly scanning and registering his options and obstacles that would keep him from help them from getting the puck. So a lot like Kopi, if you want to think about that. He does a lot of stuff like Kopi does. Playmaking is the marquee dimension in his game, but he's still a legitimate dual threat scorer, mainly owing to his handling ability. Whether it's driving the net or dangling his way to the score sheet or maneuvering around opponents to improve conditions of his shot, he had no problems finishing plays in his time in OHL. And oh yeah, Greentree has the muscle of a bygone era, but with the elegance of a modern twist, like they did with the Dodge Charger and Challenger. He's like a new release of that muscle car from the 60s. And he's a step or two faster. There's a good chance you'd have to read about him a lot in things earlier. That's the catch with Greentree. For all his skills, sense, and robust physical play, he's just too slow at the moment. His mechanics are awkward, and the result is a lack of agility and explosiveness that may limit his effectiveness as he makes his way to the NHL. Then again, that would hardly be the first player to add a step or two between his draft year and eventual NHL debut. And if he does, there isn't any reason why he can't be a highly effective top 6 playmaking winger. what do the Kings need? Top playing winger. So not only did they get him, but they got their second-round pick from this also, which is another goalie. They were able to get Carter George, second round, pick number 57. He's one of the smoothest puck handling goaltenders to come through the draft in recent years. Pro quality, post integration makes him an intriguing prospect despite his size. So that saying, he's a little smaller. He's not like Vasilevsky, not probably like even Darcy Kemper. He's only 6 foot tall, but he went a perfect 6-0 internationally with Canadians U18 team with a .915 save percentage after a successful season with the Owen Sound attack. While they have moderate concerns about his size, because of his success he's been having, the immediate thing that will jump out to anyone who watches George is his puck handling ability. And I don't know, there's not a whole lot of guys that are great puck handlers as goalies.
No, it's a dying breed.
Who can you think of that would compare to?
Right now?
Yeah, I'm thinking of somebody, but I can't remember his name. But they're known for their puck handling. Otherwise, they can help get the puck out when the defense doesn't do it. He doesn't panic when I won't forget about who I compare him to. He doesn't panic when he's pressured, and he makes smart, quick plays when his options are limited. So it's a nice bonus to have on top of already a very exciting goaltender. It can't be understated how good he is. He would be one of the better puck handling goaltenders in the NHL if he was plunked into the lineup today. That's saying something. On top of his puck handling ability, he has a solid technical foundation to fall back on, which, you do have guys that are like quick played on his agility and his quickness. This guy has that solid core of what most goalkeepers have. And in terms of getting him integrated, it's going to be a little bit of a time. But he doesn't overuse his technique like a lot of modern goaltenders. His lack of size may be concerning on paper, but watching him play will put any fears to rest. He does everything well that you want to see from a 6 foot tall goalkeeper. At the very least, he's worth a draft pick to marvel at the way he moves the puck on the ice. And one place Kings fans were weak is in the goalie market. I mean, we haven't. I know we have Portillo, and he's considered to be the next guy to come up. And picking up Darcy Kemper and then having Riddick come back is great. And Copley will be in the AHL, so chances are Carter George will go back and play with his junior team for another season. Then in the 6th round, we picked up Jared Woolley. He's a tall defenseman, confident with the puck, and physical without it. He's a long-term project, but poised for a big minutes role with London next year. And if you don't know, London came in second.
London always has a good team.
Yeah. He bounced between his junior B team and the London Knights before finally earning a full-time spot in December and didn't look back. So goalkeepers and defensemen people are the ones that are a little slower to typically move up. But he's a value. He's size. One thing, the NHL right now, we went from size like the Kings of 2012 and 2014 to a more smaller, speedy lineups. But obviously, we saw what Vegas did with the bigger lineup, and even Edmonton got bigger and stronger. And I think.
Please, sir, please turn off your cell phone during time of recording.
One of our That was Eric Rodriguez.
Oh.
Eric, I'll call you back when I'm done with the podcast. You're going to hear this late, though.
Well, it's
Anyways,
pointless of telling him now on the podcast when you're going to call
yeah,
him.
I know, but when he listens to it, he'll go, "Oh,
Shout
he was
out
in the
Eric.
middle of a podcast." The bet is that Woolley's development will accelerate in London, which would be far from the first time. To start, let's see what he can do in top 4 minutes next season, because he'll be a top 4 defenseman for him. Then in the 7th round, we picked up James Reeder. He's another electrifying, dynamic winger with overwhelming pace and a knack for making plays. Some nights, he looks like a world beater with his electrifying skill and pace and motor. He had a complete control over the USHL game and looked like a top 45 talent in the draft. Other nights, the skill disappeared and fell into the background. As such, he's one of the most confounding, but also highest upside prospects outside the first round. On his best nights, Reeder's a high-paced, dynamic winger who fearlessly drives the middle. The give and go is his play. Shifting the defense before passing to create more space is his target. He fakes before cutting, cuts back, and uses the trailer. And if all else fails, his pace and motor allow him to outrace the defense. Other nights, he's a read and react player who plays too fast. He charges straight up the boards into pressure and loses the puck. So he's got some things to learn. He's a project. Anything in the 7th round usually is a project. But, the Kings have had a lot of success with 7th round. I mean, Matt Roy's won. And I think Caleb Lawrence they're thinking high praise for him. I think he's going to be playing with the Reign this year. So Reeder's another prospect that they think he's got high potential if he can meet it. So 7th round, 6th round, 7th round, you're taking chances sometimes. Your first 2 rounds, you're going to want to pick someone who can be in the NHL within 5 years. These guys, it might take longer. But then again, of course, we looked at our first round pick. I think it was in 2014, was Adrian Kempe. Look, and it took him 6 years. It took him 6 years, and look at him now. I think he's up at the top. Scored 75 points, almost a point a game. So, we don't want to rush guys like Woolley or Reeder or George, and probably not even
Greentree.
Greentree. None of these guys are going to be rushed up. We're hoping some of our other drafts from like 2018 and beyond are coming up and helping us this year. And that was the basis of the draft. As you guys probably know, we did make a trade to get Tanner Jeannot, and I think 2 of our picks went with that. So otherwise, we would have had 6 picks. And we're looking to get tougher, bigger, and making it tougher for anybody to play against us. And right there, that's the draft for the Kings this year. Now we're going to move on to
before we
Ducks.
finish.
What?
I'll give you a little. This is what they had on the Elite Prospects guide for Liam Greentree. His traits are vision, fearless, and ankle breaker. He has shades of Matt Boldy. And his attribute ratings on a scale on 1 to 9, 9 being the best, his skating is a 4.5. So yes, he does need to work on his skating. His shooting is 7, passing 7, puck handling 7, hockey sense 7, and his physical game is a 6.5.
So basically, I'm going to make a huge comparison here. Luc Robitaille, he was a terrible skater.
Yeah.
And until Ovechkin beat him, he was a top scoring left wing in NHL history. So we can only hope Liam Greentree becomes just like that.
Yeah. And then Carter George, he has shades of Alexander Gorgiev. And his attributes are, again, the 9 being the highest. He has a 6 skating, 5 transitions, 6.5 for hands, tracking 7, post 5, and depth 7.5. And then let me get to Woodley.
Woolley.
Oh, Woolley. I thought it was Woodley. Oops.
I know. I think I said Woodley to start. Sorry, Jared. Oh, it is Woodley. I'm sorry.
No, it's Woolley. Sorry, I think I put it wrong in the notes.
Okay.
Oops, that was my fault.
Error, Cody. Error, Cody.
Yeah.
Everybody remember,
His
error,
traits
Cody.
are transition ace, and he has raw potential. His skating is a 4.5, shooting 4, passing 5, puck handling 4, hockey sense 5, and physical 5. And your last one, James Reeder. His traits are a transition ace, motor, and vision. His skating is a 5, shooting 5, passing 6, puck handling 5, hockey sense 5, and physical 4.
Well, what's funny is even the great skating doesn't do it, because Austin Wagner was a great skater, and I don't even know where he's playing anymore, and he was super fast.
Yeah.
But the rare guys like McKinnon, McDavid, the Chicago Bedard, those guys had it all, and it's rare at a young age to have it all and go straight into the NHL. What do we have? 4, 5 guys, maybe a year at the most, that go straight in and make a big difference.
Yeah.
And it's usually your first 5 picks.
That Liam Greentree pick, I think he was supposed to be taken, I want to say, in the teens, like in the between 10 to 20 range. And from what I heard is if the Kings didn't make that trade to move back in the draft, they wanted Solberg.
Oh, yep. I can tell you that. That was on All the King's Men with Jesse Cohen.
Yeah.
Mark Yannetti said they were high on him. I don't know if they would have taken him there, but they wanted him. Yeah. If he would be available. So, but if they really wanted him, he was there.
Yeah.
So they didn't. I mean, they have further needs, I guess. So thanks for that, Cody. I know you have that information. I don't have that.
Yeah, so this was on the Elite Prospects guide. This was like what they had before the draft came out with. So, all right, so now we're going to go to the Ducks draft. Of course, this one's going to take a lot longer because we had a lot more picks. So with our first pick overall, or first pick in the first round, third overall, we took right winger Beckett Sennecke. Sennecke is an ankle-breaking winger who combines depth, playmaking, manipulation, powerful net drives, and puck thievery skills to control the game. He's an overwhelmingly confident puck handler, grounded in solid technique with unlocked top arm and fast twitch hands. As a playmaker, he manipulates opponents, works the give and go, identifies the right play, and connects with perfectly weighted passes no matter the obstacle. They were saying he had probably the best hands in the draft. One of them. His traits were ankle breaker, got that dog in him, and a clinical finisher. He has shades of Drake Batherson. His skating is a 5, shooting 6.5, passing 7, puck handling 7.5, hockey sense 6.5, and physical 6. So, yeah.
Oh, not to mention, oh my God, and WTF. And I think he was the darling of the draft.
Oh God, yes.
I mean,
and Ducks fans, they do have a shirt now with his what the duck look on his face, so you can go buy that on the Anaheim team store. But also about Sennecke, from the peripheries of his first round to the top 10, it was a tale of 2 seasons for Beckett. one good and another great. The season splits are staggering as the calendar turned to a welcome new year. Sennecke had 25 points in 28 games. He went on to add another 43 points in 35. That followed racking up 22 points in 16 playoff games. What we saw in Sennecke in that stretch indicates that every point was well earned too, forcing us to move him from the fringe of the first round all the way to the top 10. So, like I said, he was definitely like a late riser. I think he finally got adjusted to that his growth spurt that he had. So he finally like got used to playing like being a tall player and actually used that to his advantage more. So, but yeah, he was just a human highlight reel pretty much. And it was they were saying did I leave off? The skill was always there. It's what drew us to the Oshawa Generals winger in the first place. He's an overwhelmingly confident puck handler, rounded. Was I already read that part, didn't I? Let's see. Where did sorry, I lost where I was going. But like I said, I think before the year started, they were saying like he was like a mid to late rounder. Then just with the way he finished the second half of the season, and especially the way he played in the playoffs, that's what really just turned it around for him. So I'm really excited to see him up there.
I think it was a shock, not just to him, but to a lot of the NHL, because they didn't expect his name that soon.
Yeah, I don't think anyone.
And I got to tell you, and I think we mentioned last week went to the flock party. I mean, he's a likable kid.
He's funny.
God! I mean, all the guys that were up there were likable kids for the Ducks, and they. I never thought I would hear Kent French say what he said last week. Still, it's that's kind of blown me away. So, I mean, here I am at the enemy's flock party, in a way, but I had the best time, and they're hard to dislike these kids. Hard to dislike them whatsoever. And I think one thing Cody and I've always spoke about is we're hockey fans number one.
Mm-hmm.
Then comes our love for our teams. So, I except for when he plays the Kings, I hope he has a great career.
Let's see before I move on, but yeah. So with the Oshawa Generals, he had in 63 games, he had 27 goals, 41 assists for 68 points. So he had just over a point per game average. So now we're going to move on to Stian Solberg, who we took with the 23rd overall pick. We did trade up. I believe we traded. Oh God, it was the 31st, and I want to say the 59th. Oh, I think it was like a late second pick that we traded away to get to move up. But Stan is a 6'2", 200-pound defenseman, left-handed shot. His traits are hammer, play killer, and has that raw potential. His skating is a 5.5, shooting 5, passing 5.5, puck handling 5, hockey sense 5, and physical 8. So he is a defensive defenseman with one of the best physical games in the entire draft. Flashed more and more growth and potential in the rest of the of his skill set towards the end of the season. So there pretty much I forgot, was it Martin Madden or someone was saying that he was pretty much like a taller version of Radko Gudas, but he also has shades of a Jacob Trouba.
He has shades of Jonathan Quick, and when I say that, it's as Mr. Spock would say, more colorful metaphors, because he started the whole thing at the flock party.
Yeah, that was funny.
Not going to say those words because I'll get in trouble.
Yeah, but for Stan, that game came very late in the season with the World Championship, so he was another one of those late risers. I believe he was already on people's radars, but just the way he played in the World Championship, I think this was like the first time he had like legit, like professional talent that he was going against, and he was still one of the best defensive defensemen in the tournament. And Norway is really not the biggest hockey market or anything like that. So, like I said, he was only the second Norwegian ever to be drafted in the first round. He was the second highest because someone else got drafted. I want to say a few picks before him. I can't. It was like something Nygaard, I believe. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, so they were the first two Norwegians ever drafted in the first round. So that should just tell you Norway's not really a big hockey market, but they're starting to get bigger and bigger. But they were saying when Norway faced Czechia, the eventual winners of the tournament, Solberg dominated. He pounded on opponents, plastered them to the wall, and made plays every time he touched the puck. He played the same type of game, but a better version of it. He made his plays with better timing and more skill, precision, and deception than ever before. Performing on the world stage like this is an impressive feat at an 18-year-old, let alone one coming off a hockey country like Norway that rarely produces NHLers. But now, after watching him play against some of the top countries in Prague, we're sure Solberg is going to be one of them in the short one of them in short order. What defines Solberg above everything else is his mean streak. He's not content with just repelling opponents. He wants them to be as close as possible, as it is easier for him to press his stick in their back. He inflicts pain every chance he gets, immobilizes opponents, and knocks them away from in front of the net. I think Verbeek's just going from like what you were saying. He wants he wants to make the Ducks harder to play against more than anything.
Physical is what's happening now in hockey. One thing, like the Florida Panthers, they play very physical. It's hard to score a lot of goals against them. And, and they're fortunate they have a lot of talented goal scorers too. Edmonton, same way. I think that's where Edmonton made it to the Stanley Cup this year because they got tougher. They allowed a lot less goals than they did the previous year. But it took them basically almost 2 months to get it going and had to do a coaching change. So kind of cool, guys. Kind of cool. All right. Go on, Cody, because you only have 7 more.
Thanks for the reminder.
We only had 4 picks. They had 9.
Yeah. All right. Next player who we took in the second round with the 35th overall pick. We took center Lucas Pettersson. He's a 5'11", 172-pound, left-handed shot center. His traits are fleet of foot, toolsy, and vision. His attributes are skating is a 6, shooting 5, passing 5, puck handling 5.5, hockey sense 5, and physical 5. He's an energetic, detailed, and a fast two-way presence who flashes a higher level of playmaking ability. So, let's see. He is a Swedish. He's also Sweden from Sweden. Sorry.
That's what Swedish is. They're from Sweden.
Yeah. He played for the Modo Hockey. He played majority of the time in the junior one. He played 44 games there, 27 goals, 30 assists for 57 points. So he had a 1.3 points per game. And then he got moved up to the senior team, played 5 games, but recorded no points.
That's a big step up.
Yeah. And then he played
for the project, just like most of the draft picks are.
Yeah.
He'll be a project for him.
And then he played for the Sweden U18 World Junior team. He played 7 games, had 3 goals and 5 assists for 8 points. So Lucas Pettersson is can do a little bit of everything, but offense has been his calling card. In the what they call the J20 National, where he's terrorized opponents to the tune of a better point a game clip. As a first-time draft eligible skater, pace is the Moto center defining dimension, and it goes both ways. Where most skaters his age rely on straight line speed to leave defenders in the dust, Pettersson constantly keeps opponents guessing, working I always have a hard time saying this one, sophisticated delay game to create space for himself and connect with trailing opponents. If the defenseman steps up, he explodes against their momentum and into the soft ice for a scoring chance. It isn't just a scoring tool either. Pettersson's skating paired with a motor that never stops and high-level reads allows him to close on opponents as they go in for the puck retrievals and generate steals like a variable pickpocket. So, like I said, he's pretty much one of those just really fast players, someone that just can keep going, someone that's probably going to be a really good forechecker too. So that was our second round pick, third overall. Next, we have our third round pick at number 66 overall, Maxim Massey, I believe is how you say it. Let's see, where did I have his thing? Did I not do it? Oh, I didn't get his. Oops. I can pull it up real quick, probably. But Maxim Massey, let's see, he is a projectable NHL frame, ability to retrieve pucks, and scoring skills should make him the first prospect selected from the QMHL in the 2024 NHL draft. Let's see if I can pull up his. Shouldn't be hard to find his thing. Massey. He was taken, 66 overall? Let me expand that. All right. Let's see. Where did it go? Sorry, I thought I already had his stuff pulled up, but I guess I did not. Where'd it go?
I hear the Jeopardy theme, Cody.
Yeah. I thought I had it right here. Okay. So Maxim Massey is a right winger from Canada, 6'1", 181 pounds, and a right shot. He has shades of Brandon Saad. His attributes are his skating is a 5, shooting 6, passing 5, puck handling 5, hockey sense 5, and physical 6. He was playing with the Chichikomi. I can't even say that name. But for the QMHL, he played 67 games, had 36 goals, 39 assists for 75 points. And then for the Canada U18, he had played 7 games, 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points. And his attributes are hammer and sniper. Let me go back to my notes. It's not for nothing that Maxim won the Michael Bassey Trophy, awarded to the QMHL's Best Professional Prospect Award. So that's something big right there. He has abilities and the tools required to have a long, successful career in the NHL. The winger should be able to match the speed of most players in the league and handle its hard physical play with relative ease. Massey should win pucks below the goal line and feed them to the front to teammates waiting in shooting position. He already pulled one of these plays time and time again this season with his team. More importantly, Massey should be able to score. Placed on a line with talented playmakers, Massey can hammer passes from all around the slot and beat goalies cleanly. 2 years in a row, where he played, he finished the season with the most goals on his team with 29 and 36. Next year, in an improved all-around formation around him, he should hit 50. So I think he's just going to be someone that could just score, which is someone that the Ducks need desperately. So that was our first pick in the third round. Now we literally had 2 picks right after that. So let me pull up his. I'm probably going to butcher this guy's name, so I'm so sorry, Ethan, that if I can't pronounce your last name correctly. But with the third round pick, number 68 overall, we had Ethan Precision. He's a center, right shot. He was 6'2", 187 pounds from Canada. His attributes are hammer and motor. His attributes are skating is a 4, shooting 4.5, passing 5, puck handling 5, hockey sense 4.5, and physical 6.5. With the North Bay Battalion, he played 62 games, had 15 goals, 21 assists for 36 points. He is a power center with a knack for steals, big hits, and drawing penalties. Flashes of skill in a limited role. So he is I guess right now, like a third line CHLer, and they don't usually get a spot on the board or even really that close. Players have to score in top minutes at this level to even become a checking line forward at the next level. But Ethan is an exception thanks to a pair of special elements, next level physicality, and transition skill. Ethan hits everything that moves, but always with a purpose. He uses contact to force attackers to the corner to win the puck battles and create offense. There is no easy ice when he is out there. He goes out of his way to flatten, disrupt, and annoy opponents. I don't know why this sounds more like a freaking Ryan Kessler than anything else to me. A little bit. Just he loves to annoy people. There are also plenty of flashes of skill. Ethan plays on North Bay's lateral passing, high-paced transition game. He deceives opponents to create shooting lanes, attacks the inside with speed, and flashes the skill to pass through pressure. Most of these skill flashes occur when after he gets free from the defenders and receives a pass from the rush. The upright skating and lock-in tight skills really hindered Ethan's in-zone offensive game, especially with partly explains production. But as he moves up North Bay's lineup, he should start scoring significantly more. Though Ethan doesn't project as a play driver in the NHL, he could anchor a bottom 6 line and complement more possession-hungry wingers. So that was our second third-round pick. And now our last third-round pick, we had 3 third-round picks. So the last one was Terran Smith. This one was definitely more of a. I want to say this. They were saying like crap. What was I gonna say? One of their scouting guys, the one that Glenn Cochran, he was the one that they wore the GC for during the draft. The one that sadly passed away in, I want to say September or October or November of last year. I guess this guy was really high on Terran Smith, so this one meant a lot to them. So Terran Smith, he is a defenseman, 6'1", left shot, 176 pounds from Canada. He is an ankle breaker, chest master, and has that raw potential. He has shades of Sean Dursey and Zach Jones. His attributes is skating is a 4.5, shooting 5.5, passing 6, puck handling 6.5, hockey sense 5, and physical 5. He played with the Everett Silvertips, so he did have some time with Olin Zellweger a couple years ago. In 67 games, he had 8 goals and 36 assists for 44 points, which is pretty good for a defenseman. One of the flashiest players in the entire draft class, thanks to an arsenal of Makar-esque moves, but can he do them at the next level to round out his game? So in a draft filled with high-end defensive prospects and everything, many with the offensive lean, arguably Terrence Smith amassed the flashiest highlight reel, whether he was pulling Cale Makar-esque moves from the point or scoring with a perfect snipe. It was clear that Smith is one of the draft's best upside swings outside the top 20. Smith has a distinct handling, handling and creation style. But the influences are clear. His move set, stop and start lateral movement, fake slapper into a heel to heel push off, rapid fire weight shifts, and etc. It is straight from the Makar playbook. Guys, we're not saying he's the next Cale Makar. He just has some of the same attributes and same play style as Makar, but doesn't mean he's going to be Makar, because we got to see if he can even do it at the next level. So I'm really excited about this player if we can get him up with I believe he's gonna definitely have another year in juniors, as most of our players that we drafted. I think all of them are going back to juniors, I'm pretty sure. So he's someone that I'm really excited about here, and we got him at a really good spot. So next pick. Oh man, I'm already getting tired of talking.
Me too. Little humor, people.
Yeah. All right, next pick. Our 4th round pick that we took with the 100th pick. Alexander Blaze. His hands work just as fast as his feet. He catches opponents off guard with his acceleration and makes plays through them with deception and skill. Let's see where. Here he is. All right. So Alexander Blaze, as a left winger, he's 5'10", 154 pounds, shoots left, and he's also a Canadian. His attributes are, his skills are fleet of foot, vision, and transition ace. His attributes are skating as a 5.5, shooting 5, passing 5.5, puck handling 5.5, hockey sense 5.5, and physical 4. He played with the Rimouski Oceanic in the QMHL. In 68 games, he had 24 goals and 60 assists for 84 points. On a weaker Rimouski team this season, Alex Blaze became one of their go-to players in all facets of the game, scoring 21 more points than the next closest teammate. Alex plays faster than everyone else on the ice and on a higher level of creativity too. He commanded the play from the half wall on the power play, orchestrating passing exchanges and driving inside to pick off the corners of the net with his shot. And at 5-on-5, he constantly carried the puck from the defensive end to the offensive one with a combination of quick east to west movements and 10-and-2 skating moves. And give and goes, Blaze hands work just as fast as his feet as he spots gaps in coverage and vulnerable opponents and takes advantage of those instantly. And he understands how to manipulate defenders, often dragging them with him to create more space for teammates. He can pull off kinds of passes with some precision. He also constantly driving inside right through the defensive formation to create high-level scoring chances, and his ability to get open in transition and in the offensive zone bolstered his scoring total too. But while Blaze did score at a dominant pace, he did mostly in the same ways. His game centered around his pace advantage could drop in his effectiveness as he scales the ladder of the professional hockey. So, like I said, someone fast, has some skill, and a good playmaker. Another good draft pick for the Ducks. I'm really excited about him. All right. I think I got, 2 more?
What?
I think I got 2 more.
I was asleep. Sorry.
That doesn't shock me. At least you weren't snoring. All right, can you turn off your ringtone while we're recording? Sir?
I'm popular today.
All right. This is the second to last one. With our 6th round pick, who I believe this is actually these 2 picks we got from the Kings. The last 2. We picked up Austin Bernevic. He's a left wing, 6'4", 201 pounds, shoots left, and we got a USA guy. He's known for his vision and his brain. He played with the Madison Capitals and the USHL. He had 61 games. He had 40 goals, 31 assists for 71 points. His attributes are his skating is a 3.5. Ooh, he really needs to work on his skating. Shooting 5, passing 5.5, puck handling 5, hockey sense 5, and physical 5. Skating you can always get better at. But he is a re-entry winger with play building skills, vision, and a big shot. But skating remains a major problem. I can see that. So after going undrafted, I believe he is one of the oldest. I believe he was one of the oldest players in the draft too. Yeah, he's already 18. The move paid off for the former national development winger as he scored 40 goals and should hear his name called at June's draft. Best as the F2 in the rush, Austin provides short support, receives the puck inside space, and finds the best play. Sometimes he cuts inside for a better look, but he usually finds a teammate moving into the slot after a quick delay to draw pressure. He instantly turns turnovers and loose pucks into offense as he sees every play before it materializes. Austin's shooting and passing skills are NHL level. He converts tricky passes into goals and connects with teammates off either side of his blade with perfect weight. While Austin instantly punishes gaps in the defense, he rarely creates them. Instead, he's dependent on his line mates to get him pucks inside space because of his skating. The lack of lower body flexion limits his speed and widens his turns radius, and he doesn't have many race-winning puck rushing or puck protection skills as a result. So obviously that's something he can easily work on. He's a great playmaker, just he needs to be a better skater. And that's something he can easily work on with another 1 to 2 years playing in juniors or wherever he's playing. All right, I need some water. Oh,
take a breath while you're at it.
All right,
that was a lot.
There's still one more.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay.
But last one. All right. Last one, guys. I'm probably not gonna say this guy's name right, and I'm sorry. But Daryl's
tough, man. The names are tough.
I hope I said that right. Yolonskis. He's a defenseman, shoots left. 6'2", 192 pounds. He's from Latvia. Let's see. He played mostly with the. I want to say it was the same league as whatchamacallit. Solberg? No, someone else. I can't remember. But this season he played in the J20 National with Ake J20. He played 45 games, had 11 goals and 18 assists for 29 points. His attributes is a 4.5 for skating, shooting's a 5, passing 4.5, puck handling 4.5, hockey sense 4.5, and physical 4.5. He is a two-way defenseman who likes to activate into the play. Oh, what the hell? It kicked me out. Likes to activate into the play and has sound offensive ideas. Unremarkable physical tools are a limiting factor for his NHL upside. So
this is how I would pronounce his name, which I like to butcher him like crazy.
Yeah, you do.
But it seems like it would be Ulyanskis.
No, it's spelled wrong. It's on the thing.
You spelled it wrong?
No, I think when I copied and pasted it, it thought the J was an I.
There's a J in there?
Yeah, it's after the L.
Uljanskis.
So where the I is, you see, is
Ulanjanskis.
Yeah.
Or Janskis.
Ulansky. That's what I said, Ulansky. I believe that's how you say it. I could be butchering it.
Cool.
But all right, guys, last draft pick. Daryl's has the kind of profile draft analytic models usually shine a favorable light on. He is a reasonably tall, productive, and even young for his draft. That's always going to churn out as a good number. Was his draft year type flattering? Well, probably would have found a spot on our board for the Latvian blue liner. But if we could confidently answer that question as an affirmative, still there were flashes of NHL caliber prospect at a minimum. Ulansky is at his best on the power play. It's the phase of his game where he generates close to 60% of his offense. So he's definitely probably more of like a power play quarterback merchant kind of person. He's got a lot of the right ideas, whether it's using space, drawing in defenders, or even sprinkling in the odd bit of deception to open up passing lanes. More than anything, though, it's a shoot first, ask questions later mentality that nets him a lot of his offense. So now, if only Daryl's could find a way to find the same level of success at even strength, there might be a spot for him on our board. Instead, the increased pace and lack of room to operate mutes much of his effectiveness. So he's someone that really just needs to work on his 5-on-5 game. Someone, I would say, just someone that needs to grow, not just always rely on being a power play merchant to get a majority of his points. Work on his defensive game and his physical and his skating. So, but not someone that can be very promising if he works on everything. But most of these guys that are drafted, I would say in the 4th round or later, very rarely become NHLers. You very, very rarely see it. So, all right. That was the last draft pick. Oh, man.
That was a lot.
So, if you had to grade the Kings draft, how would you grade it?
I give it a B-.
B-? Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, the part of the whole thing about draft is I want to say it's like luck of the draw. I mean, they do their due diligence to try to figure out what they're going to get. But, they didn't pick to the 26th.
Well, they traded down.
I know. But they also picked a couple more draft picks up, and they turned that into a player who will play for them this year. One of them.
Who's going to play for them?
Tanner Jeannot. They traded 2 picks for him. They got a player who's going to play. A tough guy, too, which is something everybody, Carl Grunstrom left. Now they got Tanner Jeannot, Joel Edmondson, another big guy right there. So, and they always have England.
True.
I mean, he was probably another tough guy. He was probably their toughest guy because Grunstrom didn't play that much. So, but how about you? How are you going to grade the Ducks draft?
A-.
But yeah, 2 first-round picks. That helps, and 2 in the top 25. So I think they did well. Their first 2 top picks, I was definitely impressed with them at the flock party. So,
yeah, I was definitely excited about that. All right, Kings news.
Okay, guys. Well, before I talk about who we got, let's say who we lost. we lost Matt Roy to the Capitals, and he got paid another 7th round pick. So I want to say, you think 7th round doesn't make a difference? Matt Roy was probably our best defensive defenseman last year with blocks and so forth. Wish him best of luck with the Capitals, because the Capitals retooled quick during this whole offseason, which we'll probably go over on another podcast since we want to talk about our teams this time. We also lost Victor Arvidsson. In a way, it feels like a trade. They got Arvidsson. We got Warren Fogle. Signed him to a 3-year, $10.5 million contract. He's probably going to play top 6. Not unless one of the young guys outplays him. So there was our first pickup. We lost Arvidsson. We lost we obviously traded Grunstrom, which we talked about last week. Then we also signed former Canadiens defender Joel Edmondson to a 4-year, $15.4 million contract. So I think the way the Kings see Edmondson is he's going to be the third pair lefty, possibly with either Spence or Clark. And then Gavrikov will play with either Spence or Clark. I mean, I think if they're going to start, they're probably going to have Spence go up to the second pairing and then have Clark go in third pairing. And then Clark will be the second power play quarterback. Next, we re-signed Trevor Lewis to a 1-year, $800,000 contract. A lot of people go, why? Why? Trevor Lewis is a penalty kill hero. I mean, you're talking about a guy who got drafted in the first round, was a big type scorer, who realized that his offensive talents didn't move up with him in the NHL. So he found a way to stay, and he's had a great career. I think he's approaching 1,000 games. Maybe not with the Kings, but total 1,000 games playing in the NHL. And I think that's a great pickup for our penalty kill, because we also did lose Blake Lizotte to Pittsburgh, and he was a lot on the penalty kill along with Deneau and Kopitar. So then we re-signed Phoenix Copley to a 1-year, $825,000 contract, and I don't count this as like rock solid, but I think he'll be backing up Eric Portillo in Ontario, because I do believe they want Riddick and they want Kemper up with the big team. Then the Kings also signed Jeff Malott to a 2-year, $775,000 AAV contract. He'll probably also be in Ontario. They also re-signed Tyler Madden to a 1-year contract. Jack Studnicka, kind of a neat name, Studnicka. Kind of got a ring to it. Then also Glenn Godden, Riley Walsh, and Caleb Jones. That's Seth Jones' brother.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 27-year-old defensive. He's probably going to try to compete for to be on the big club, and we'll see what happens with that. Here's a question for all you Kings fans. Question 1: is this the year Quentin Byfield goes back to being a center, and he's going to be probably either 1, 2, or 3? First line, second line, third line center. Is this the year he's going to do that? Or are they going to keep that moneymaker of Kopi, Quentin, and Kempe on line 1? They're talking about it's time for him to step up and be a center again. What do you think? Do you think Quentin's ready? The other thing is wow, where's everybody going to fit in this lineup? I'd love for you guys to contact us and let us know what you think opening night lineup is going to be. Basically, all 4 sets of the forwards, line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, and the 3 defenders. 3 defensive ones isn't going to be a whole lot of play in there, I don't think. but we'll see. Well, I want to know what you guys think. So, a challenge to all the people listening. We want to know what you think. And here's another question, last question, and then we'll move on to Duck news. Do you think the Kings are better this year than last year? I wasn't asking you. Quit shaking your head. I wasn't asking you. I mean, I have an opinion too, but I'm waiting to hear from you. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit next week as we're going over some new stuff. Oh, and then we still have to go over our little challenge of
All right.
the hockey game. And I mean, damn, it was good. So you guys want to hang on for next week to hear, was it Team Cody or Team Gary? And all I got to tell you is no matter what we do, fantasy hockey, everything else, whoa, it's competitive. And we're two highly competitive guys. So any other than that, we'll move on to Duck news with Cody.
All right. So I believe I talked about this last week, but I'll just go over it real quick. Isaac Lundestrom re-signed for 1 year, $1.5 million. So we'll have him for another year. Urho Vakanainen got re-signed for 1 year, $1.1 million. Brett Leeson, I'm glad to see him back. Signed a 1 year, $1.05 million deal. And then probably the second biggest transaction we had this last week, the Ducks acquired Brian Dumoulin from the Seattle Kraken for a 2026 fourth overall pick.
Fourth round.
Yeah, fourth round. Yes.
Fourth overall.
Yeah, sorry, fourth round. So he is a defenseman, age 32. He has a 3.15 cap hit. But this is the last year for his on his deal.
He's on an expiring contract.
Yeah, he's on an expiring contract. Last year he played for Seattle. He played 80 games, had 6 goals, 10 assists for 16 points, and he was a +3. So
he's not bad because Seattle struggled last year.
Yeah, they did struggle. So like I said, I think it was just a way to get bolster the defense and everything like that. Next one we had Jansen Harkins signed a 2-year, $1.575 million contract. Jansen is age 27, center, left shot. He last played for, I believe, Winnipeg. He's on. Oh, we just signed him to a 2-year. Oh, last year he played with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Had 45 games, 0 goals, 4 assists for 4 points with 21 penalty minutes. I believe he's someone that's probably gonna be playing between the Ducks and San Diego, and then
you gotta fill up that AHL roster too.
Yeah,
if they don't have enough prospects down there, you want to be at least somewhat competitive.
And then the biggest deal that we've made this last week is the Anaheim Ducks acquired Robbie Fabry and a 2025 conditional 4th round pick from Detroit for goalie prospect Gage Alexander. Let's see. So Robbie Fabry is also on his last on his expiring deal. He's an age 28 center. Let's see. The condition is Anaheim will receive the earlier of Detroit's own 4th round pick. So it'd either be their pick or Boston's pick in 2025. Robbie Fabry last year with Red Wings in 68 games had 18 goals, 14 assists for 32 points. But he was a -13 or -13. So I think hopefully maybe things changing around. Maybe he's up in the lineup more. Maybe he'll get more production, and that can help out his overall game. So that was, I would say, the biggest move we've made. Come on, go back. And then the Ducks signed, or is it Carson Meyer, who right now has an upper body injury, but he signed a 1-year, 2-way contract with the Ducks. And then let's see, Carson Meyer, age 26, right wing, shoots right. Let's see. He played 14 games last year with Columbus, had 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points. So hopefully, like I said, he's going to be just between AHL or NHL because he's on a 2-way. And then Beckett Sennecke signs his 3-year entry-level contract along with Stian Solberg, who also signed his 3-year entry-level contract. So,
Oh my God.
so they'll probably be playing in the juniors this year. I'm guessing, if anything, Beckett will probably get his 8 or 9 games with the Ducks, maybe, just to see how he does, and then he'll go back to juniors, and then they'll both probably play in the World Juniors and let them finish out the year with their clubs, and then maybe we'll see how they go after next year. And then the last bit of news is Pavel Regenda, Regenda. He signed a 1-year 2-way deal with the Ducks, so I'm glad to see him back. But so there was news that the Haverbeek did. I know we were expecting more after the free agency market opened up and everything. At least like one big signing, at least. But from what we heard is, and we'll probably go over this more next week, is the Ducks did offer contracts to both Stamkos and Marchessault. And they actually offered, I think, more term and more money to them, but they both decided to go to Nashville. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad neither of those went through. Stamkos is 34. If we gave him a 5-year deal at even, I think, $9 million, you're paying a 39-year-old guy $9 million a year, and he's already like declining. He's not going into his prime or just getting out of his prime. He's already declining.
Still a pretty good player with decline, though.
Yeah, still a good player, but not someone who I'd want to give 5 years, $9 million a year to.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And then same with Marchessault. I believe he's 32. He got 5 times 5.5. I believe they offered, I think, 6 or something like that to him. Like I said, that would have gone to his age 38 season. So again, not something you'd want to do, is paying a 38, 37-year-old guy who's going to be declining that much money.
You know, you guys could be just like Edmonton Oilers, cracking up all those early draft picks like they did for years, and then they finally started to come into fruition the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, McDavid, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Draisaitl was a 3rd pick in the draft, and numerous other players that they got high draft picks with. So, do you have trivia question, or is my turn to ask you this year?
It was your turn this week.
Okay, I have one. This will be it, right? This is the last part of
this will be
the podcast. Now this is Duck trivia. I'm going to give you that.
Okay.
Which player won back-to-back Lady Byng trophies as the league's most gentlemanly player?
What years were they?
It doesn't give that as a question.
It doesn't give it?
Okay, wait a second. 95, 96, 96, 97. That just gives it away.
So it's not Solani.
He had 20 penalty minutes in 95, 96, and in 96, 97, just 6 minutes. 6 penalty minutes.
Paul Kariya?
Paul Kariya. Correct.
Because
I thought that gave it away.
Yeah. Well, I knew Solani wasn't on the team till 98.
That's why he gave it away.
Yeah. Did Solani ever win the Lady Byng?
I didn't look that up.
I guess
here's another one. Who holds the franchise single-season record for assists?
Franchise single-season record for assist?
Yeah. I'll give you a second one.
What year was it? What year did this happen?
2008, 2009.
Getzlaf?
How much? How many?
76.
Close. Less.
72?
66.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to give you any more today. That's good enough.
All right.
How'd you guys do on that trivia question?
Were you guys able to get it right away, or? Because I had to find out at least a year to kind of narrow it down.
Well, kind of gave Lady Bing. I mean, Timu's a very nice guy, but Paul Correa was like Mr. Goody Two Shoes. Timu wasn't always Mr. Goody Two Shoes.
Goody Two Shoes to you, but not on the ice, probably.
Yes.
So, all right. Ready to get out of here?
I am.
All right, well, guys. Well, thank you for listening to episode 19 of Royally Quack. Please, guys, leave a review, give us 5 stars on all the podcast platforms. If you leave a review, I will try to find it and read it on the podcast. And please make it good. Like I said, we're on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Amazon, Overcast, and iHeart. You can follow us on social media at Royally Quacked on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Even though we're not really Twitter people, but we're on there. So if you're on there, say hi. Please tell your family, friends, co-workers, enemies, whoever you want to listen to us, please. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask any questions, and we'll put it on the podcast.
And don't forget to ask, who won the 2024 fantasy hockey game?
Who do you guys
think? It's been going on for what now, 3 or 4 weeks now? You guys want to know? Put the pressure on Cody to put it in our podcast.
Oh yeah, just give me more pressure.
He's director, producer, editor. He does it all. I give him all the credit. I have fun with him. He does all the work. I don't get
paid enough for this.
What?
I don't get paid enough for this.
No. Neither do I, but that's okay. You at least deserve to get something out of it.
Yeah, but I just enjoyed just talking about hockey.
Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too. So, enjoy it every week.
All right, guys. I hope you guys all had a happy and safe 4th of July, and everyone have fun going back to work on Monday, or for some people, in 2 hours.
Yes, me. I have to go to work. Sorry, guys. Talk to you guys later.
All right, guys. Let's go Ducks.
Love you guys. Go Kings, go.